Even my sister's house that I sold roughly 2.5 years ago was something I had to work my tush off for more than 2 decades to deserve. I thought that when she had first bought it roughly 15 years ago that, of course, the listing would be mine. I'd be the agent on it, right? You might be thinking, well, obviously, she's your sister. Of course it's going to be your listing. Not exactly. Nothing in my career was ever as easy as it would have seemed, and my sister certainly didn't make it any easier. But 15 years ago, when she first bought that home for $13.5 million, it would have been one of the biggest deals in my career at that time. But that's not what happened. My dad and her had gone behind my back and bought the house through another broker. My sister didn't want me to know about it. And I kept saying to myself, if my own family doesn't see my value, then who the heck will? It took me the better part of 3 years to recover from that loss, and even longer to realize the value in it. Instead of quitting, I let the pain of that entire experience drive me. And more than a decade, or now 15 years later, I now have been 20 years in the business. Her $36.5 million listing was mine. And I have the skill set, the business acumen, and the team to handle both her listing and any others like it. And this time around, I knew I deserved it, but not because it fell in my lap or because it was owed to me by the nature of the relationship, but because I was a full-grown savage with long-standing relationships with incredible brokers in the business and a network of buyers and developers alike. And a charming personality, I think. So, at this point in my career, there isn't a deal that phases me. Clearly, the stories I've shared with you have not been easy. But I know how to outsmart most competitors that are going up against me and the competition I'm facing. But not even my sister's listing would have been mine if that wasn't the case. It was a very humbling experience, to say the least, but it set me on a path that I think we all need to be on. You gotta be a savage to persevere in this business, to land on top, to stay on top, and be at one of the highest levels in our industry. These moments and setbacks with clients, and yes, even family, will help you look at things differently. It requires you to look at relationships and connections, not as guarantees, but as possibilities. My sister's listing was just that proverbial slap in the face that I needed to help keep me honest. Do I wish it all came easy to me at times? I do. But the saying, the best things in life don't come easy, but those are the things worth the sacrifice. I've put in the work. I've fallen on my face so many times I can't even count. But I've always gotten up and I've kept it moving. Now, I've shown myself and the world what I'm capable of, and with commitment, my mindset, and pure damn grit, I attract more than I chase today. And if you're not there yet, you have the ability to be. So, just remember, whether you're surviving or thriving right now, we all cycle in out of highs and lows in this business. And when you need to pop out of survival mode quickly, come back to these 4 concepts. 1, it starts with you. Your thoughts determine so much of your experience. 2, find out what makes you different. What are your strengths? The strengths will help you determine the pillars and the mission statement, and ultimately a killer pitch that informs your brand across all platforms and will help you stand out against your competition. Refocus and reframe. Stress is not always what it seems. If we can look at things differently, we can get a different result. And finally, get some grit and be a savage, because no is never a no. It's a pause for you to shift the narrative to a yes. If you don't know where you're going next, these 4 fundamentals will help you put into a state where it will come to you. You just have to continue to show up, be open to change, and you got to do the work. That's what's going to make you guys truly unstoppable in this business and everlasting. Thank you.